OCD has two big problems. Let's talk about them. Once you understand these, you'll finally see why OCD feels so hard to break. To understand OCD, we have to look at what's happening in the person's mind. Oftentimes, the compulsions, the rituals, the anxiety happen because of a specific trigger. A specific situation sets off this whole cascade of thought, emotion, and compulsion. Let's take a specific example from everyday life. Someone wants to enter a building. The first thing that happens is they perceive the main door and the doorknob. The perception of the door comes with an initial thought, which is something like, there's the door. However, this initial thought is super short and is instantly followed by another intrusive thought, which in this case might be, if I touch this doorknob, I'll get contaminated and I'll contaminate others and they'll get sick and then they die because of me. So this obviously creates massive anxiety. This belief that other people might die because of me creates massive anxiety. So intense that the person feels compelled to do something to reduce it. That's why they perform their compulsions. In this case, that might mean not touching the doorknob at all, or washing their hands excessively after touching it to make sure they've killed off all the germs. Now, in this 5-step model, there are two components that are truly problematic, and these are not the situational trigger or the initial thought or even the emotion of anxiety. The first problematic component is the misinterpretation of the situation, the intrusive thought itself. It's a complete and utter misinterpretation or misassessment of reality. It's precisely this catastrophizing interpretation that gets the OCD cycle rolling, because there is no actual danger in the given situation. The only problem is that the situation was labeled or saved by the brain as dangerous. The emotion that comes afterward, the anxiety, is a perfectly normal reaction to that kind of thought. That's why the anxiety isn't the problem. The problem is the false interpretation of the situation. And the second problematic component is the compulsion. Because by performing the compulsion, for example, washing excessively to make sure they don't contaminate anyone, the person is actually reinforcing and confirming the anxious, intrusive thought. And that's what keeps the cycle going. So, as you can see, the first problem is the act of catastrophizing, the disastrous misinterpretation of the situation that starts the OCD cycle. And the second problem is the compulsions that keep the OCD cycle alive. I hope that was helpful. Thank you for watching, and make sure to like, share, subscribe for more content like this. And drop a comment down below if you learned something. And if you haven't checked out my video about the vicious cycle of OCD, I put it right up here. Make sure to check it out.